For my final project for Art 200, I decided to pick relational aesthetic as my topic. My major is sociology, so I love learning about people and what can happen when groups of people come together. Relational aesthetic, or as also called relational art, was first discovered by a man named Nicholas Berard. Relational aesthetic is artwork that brings people together to participate in a shared activity. Berard says that relational art is a set of artistic practices which take as their theoretical and practical point of departure the whole of human relations in their social context, rather than an independent and private space. The first piece of relational art that I will be talking about is the AIDS Memorial Quilt. This project started in 1989 and is made up of more than 48,000 3x6-foot panels, each one made by normal, everyday people to remember someone that they had lost to AIDS. This group of strangers started this project because they feared that this awful part of history would not be told and would be forgotten. So they came together in hopes that this quilt would help people realize how devastating the impact of this disease is. Individually, these little pieces of fabric are just little squares, but when you put them together, you get a large, beautiful, and powerful quilt. It's amazing how this quilt shows the harmful effects of this terrible disease, and also shows that loved ones of those who have passed away are not alone and can feel a sense of community and support from these quilts. The second piece of relational art that I will be talking about is the Before I Die project. After Cindy Chain lost a loved one, she went into a deep depression. So she decided to channel her sadness into a project. She went to an abandoned house in New Orleans in her neighborhood and painted the side of the old house with chalkboard paint, and with a stencil painted the unfinished phrase, "Before I die, I want to... She left chalk so that people passing by the wall could use the chalk to write on the wall. The wall helped her understand her neighbors and community better, and realize that she was not the only one trying to make sense of her life. The wall filled up quickly, and people started to contact Chang, asking if they could create a Before I Die wall in their own community. There are now over 2,000 Before I Die walls in over 35 languages in over 70 countries, including Kazakhstan, Iraq, Haiti, China, Ukraine, Portugal, Japan, Denmark, Argentina, and South Africa. This artwork is unique because usually art is only expressive for the artist, but this project lets everyone participate and express themselves freely. This project lets people be real and raw. People can see that they are not alone in their struggles or their longings trying to figure out their life. Another piece of relational art that I will be talking about is named Untitled. This project is made by Felix Gonzalez Torres. His project can only be activated by people's participation. This project was inspired by Gonzalez Torres' partner, who is an HIV-inflicted patient. The Untitled is of 175 pounds of candy that resembles to his partner's ideal weight of 175 pounds. Gonzalez Torres decided to use candy to represent his partner because it represents the sweetness of their relationship together. As each candy is removed, it decreases the weight of the pile of candy, representing the slow decline and eventual death of his partner's life. This piece of art would not be nearly as meaningful if it weren't for the viewers taking the candy. This artwork makes people think about the impacts of AIDS have had on people. As they eat the candy and feel it dissolve in their mouth, they can think about how the person's suffering from this disease, and also the loved ones that watch the people that they love suffer from this terrible disease. The last piece of art that I will be talking about is the Still Running, an art marathon for Boston. On April 15th, 2013, the day of the annual Boston Marathon, where thousands of people are running and even more people are watching from the sidelines, supporting their loved ones as they are running 26.2 miles. 2 bombs went off near the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring more than 260 other people. In response to this horrific tragedy, 2 students from Boston University School of Visual Arts, Luca De Gaetano and Taylor Mortel, decided to launch Still Running, an art marathon for Boston. This project produced artwork to celebrate the Boston community and to help the city's healing process. Artwork was submitted that showed the strength of Boston. The artwork was then gifted to first responders, local hospitals, and police stations after the art show was over. This art show showed that Boston was not going to crumble. It showed how many people cared about one another, even if they didn't have anyone that was a victim. It showed appreciation to the men and women who risked their lives to save people from that day. It's a beautiful picture of a community coming together and staying strong when they have every reason to crumble. The thing that I love about these pieces of art is that they all have something in common, and that is they all help people feel like they aren't alone. They give people a sense of community and comfort that before participating or seeing in this project felt that they were the only ones going through something hard or difficult. But these projects give people a chance to find community and get through hard things together and don't have to do it alone. I had no idea what relational aesthetic was before this class, so I'm so glad I got to research this and learn how much this relates to my major. Many people think that art is just for looking at, but after this class, I learned that there is so much more and powerful to art. It can really bring a community together.